Now, I got on the Foreign Affairs Committee this year, and so I got to ask Hillary Clinton a few questions. But I didn't get finished, so I've still got a few. We'll hopefully get them relayed through the media to her. First question for Hillary Clinton: where in the hell were the Marines? Her answer is, oh, the Marines are to guard the paper. And I said, look, I know a lot of Marines, and I think they can do more than guard paper. She said, well, that's the rule. They're to guard the paper, not the personnel. And I said, well, they don't do that in Baghdad. The point is that Benghazi is a lot more like Baghdad than it is Paris. We did a review board of all of this, and there were a lot of mistakes made maybe at the time, after the time. There's all this, cover-up and this and that. But what's always been most important to me is what happened in the 6 months leading up to this. Because there's no excuse in the 6 months leading up to this when your people on the ground, military people and State Department people, are asking for more help. They're asking for security. They're pleading for security, and they got nothing. It was inexcusable. It was a dereliction of duty, and it should preclude her from holding higher office. May 5th of the year of the attack, they requested a DC-3 plane. This isn't one of our newest planes. I think we can afford a DC-3 plane when it's requested. But to fly people either around the country or to flee if there was a problem. Denied. 3 days later, though, the State Department approved $100,000 for an electrical charging station because they were greening up the embassy in Vienna. Apparently, the ambassador there has electric cars that he's showing off to his European friends, but he found out the plugs weren't working, so he needed $100,000 to bring special plugs over there so he could plug in his electrical cars. So we don't have enough money to let them have a plane. We're saving money, no plane for you, but we spend $100,000 showing off our climate change philosophy for the Western Europeans. We go through the summer and we find out that the State Department also spent $100,000 on 3 comedians that we sent to India on a Make Chai Not War promotional tour. So we don't have money for security, but we have enough money for comedians to go to India. We also found out last summer, during the midst of all this, before the attacks, that the State Department spent $80 million on a consulate in Mashar al-Sharif in the northern part of Afghanistan that will never be occupied. $80 million will never be occupied. Why? Because they got a 10-year lease, built the building, built the embassy, and then they noticed, hey, you know what, guys? There are balconies that look down on our building from all the way around surrounding our building. Maybe this might be a security risk. We're not occupying the building. And then they have the audacity to come to Congress and say, oh, you didn't give us enough money. Well, maybe it would take some leadership to decide how the money is spent. What seals the deal on Benghazi is that repeated requests were sent. And she was asked directly by myself and others, did you read the cables? Did you read the request for help? And she said no. She says, I'm busy. I get lots of cables. And I say, look, I don't expect you to read every cable from Bulgaria or Estonia. But I do expect you, from one of the 5 most dangerous countries in the world, Libya, to be reading the cables.